Okay, well, I'm super sweaty. Hello, another day in Mickey's life. And okay, it is 11 o'clock on a Saturday. I have already been on a photo shoot. I have walked the dog and made a beautiful Italian breakfast. And then I packed a big thing for my mom. So sometimes I will post it in something else, but anyway, I would when I do food prep or just just whenever it feels right. When her and her husband were sick with COVID, I did them a lot more. This is how I know that I think as you age, cherry pie just gets better as a category. So today I had a little peach pie that I had made. So when your fruit gets a little, if it's two sides, right? It's too hard, you should cook it. Too soft, you should cook it. But you should cook it in different stuff. So anyway, so I had just some peaches that were a little too hard. So I baked them up in some pie crust that I had laying around. So, I'm at a stop sign here. And my mom has the cutest basket. I will bring you to it since I'm at a stop sign. I hope you can see it. She has her own little basket. It's super cute. It's super cute because, it's Karen K. She loves little super cute. So here's how it goes. When I am there, I always knock on the door, even though I have the key to her apartment. I always knock on the door first, knock, 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 and then I scream out A1 delivery, and A is for adorable because I am adorable, and so is she. So it can be either one of us. Then, sometimes I'll be like, A1 delivery, here for a pickup. So today, A1 delivery, and then I'll walk in with my little basket and find out where she's at and what's going on. And then we play the yes, no game. And the yes, no game is, do you like what I picked for you? Do you even want this? And, I would say 1 out of 40 is a no, but you have to be in the mood for something. And like the other thing about doing food prep like that is that if she doesn't want it, I'm just going to go home and bring it. I'm either going to eat it or my husband's going to eat it. So it works out. Today I did the smoothie again. I have this smoothie, so thank you. We have this person online that I have been following for a really long time. He is a country western person, and anyway, I watched him mix up this shake, and he mixed it with just like water and drank it. And so he's like, I'm not like no kidding, it's so good. And he is right that this particular protein powder is like, it just isn't disgusting. And as you know, because we had a protein bar company, like the amount of protein powder and stuff that I have eaten, first of all, the amount of protein bars that my husband has eaten, one, to try every protein bar, to run every race that he's run. I'm still at a stop sign, so I'm not driving. Like the amount of protein experiences that we have had as a manufacturer and as just a real person is unbelievable. And so I can safely say my quest is over. Now he will eat protein powders that I won't, but if you've ever had like an Ensure or something like that, they are disgusting. So, and part of the reason they are disgusting is because they are stabilized. So putting something together that is in a liquid drinkable form has like different stuff in it, because it has to now put up with things very differently when it's in that liquid state. So if you are someone who doesn't like Ensure and all of that stuff, but you need that protein powder, there's a better protein powder in the world. And So the other thing I like about this protein drink is when it's really hot, nobody's hungry, but your body still needs protein. So it's just something I can mix up. I will do a, like, whatever the size is that juicer is. We have last year for my birthday, I bought myself a Ninja smoothie maker. And the year before, maybe 2 years before, that I bought myself, I don't buy myself a kitchen appliance every year, but it just so happens that I'm like, when I look at my year, because my birthday's in September, when I look at my year, I'm like, okay, well, what's the thing I want to either add or subtract, or like what would make my year better? And one year it was an air fryer, another year it was an egg cooker, long ago it was a waffle iron that like flipped. So I've gotten, I like to try new things and see if I can expand my food horizon, because I'm actually a pretty good cook. I'm a utilitarian cook, and what you get is what you get. That I don't have like a secret recipe for anything other than a cookie, but you kind of, it's just whatever we have or whatever I'm in the mood for. That's why we play the yes/no game with the basket of goodies for my mom, is that you gotta go, am I in the mood for that? And today I added prunes because her grandmother ate prunes all of the time, except her grandmother would steam them or put them in a pan. I don't quite understand that, but they were delicious. I can safely say that it is Bernice who really got me to like some things. The other thing is that Bernice, as a kid, like when you think about what smells remind you of places, like a black tar road or the smell of gasoline or whatever, for me, prunes that are cooking and overripe bananas remind me of her kitchen. And by the time, by the time my memory came, and then the smell of like fresh cut apples, because she had this magical apple tree that her son had made for her at the University of Minnesota, and it was a grafting of a tree that had 4 different varieties on it. So there was apples always growing. So she had this really magical apple tree that we all played in, and then we would just, sometimes the apples weren't, they weren't good, but we would just play with the ones that were on the ground, and we could cut them up and play, patty cake with them and eat them. And we would stay in that kind of, back then you kind of had like a fruit cellar that you could go in, and then you had kind of like a lean-to back porch. It was just it really was a utility shed kind of attached to the house, but us kids could play there, and we did a lot. We played dolls, and it was just kind of like a little playhouse. And we had a lot of playhouses in a lot of places growing up, because I was, I was in tow a lot. So anyway, so today I have prunes, and they just made me think of Bernice. And Bernice really didn't do much cooking. Like, she would do just a couple of things in a tiny pot, because when I'm thinking about that time, she was already my mom's age, actually, in her 80s and 90s. She lived to 96. So but her daughter, Bernice's daughter, surviving daughter, but she had 2 daughters. Both of her daughters came, but her youngest daughter, Myrna, lived right behind her, and then her 2 sons lived in town, and then they all had kids. So everybody just, brought either a meal over for Bernice, or they went and got her, and she got to have dinner with them. So Bernice could just, if she was hungry, she would just cook something up, but there was not much in her refrigerator. And Bernice had been given kind of doctor's orders that she should probably have a glass of wine before bed every night for health. And so she had a little bit of port that she could have at night, just a little sherry glass kind of thing. And Yeah, she was just cute as could be. Just cute as could be. And boy, she could do those stairs till she was 96. And she never, until the very end, it again, like many people, a fall will end this game. So Bernice didn't ever fall down the stairs, but she did sleep a lot. Bernice slept a lot. And, I think that's a good thing. I think that, I think about my friend Janny, and her dad just slept all the time. And we had a neighbor named Ralph. And Ralph, that when I would check in on him, he and his wife were just three days apart, I think. They really always had the same birthday. And Ardeth is somebody that I just love. And I think Ardeth is 93 this year. Still driving, still independent. But Ralph has passed away. And Ralph was the runner. He was also just an engineer, so he had an engineer's mind. And when I would ask, like, how's Ralph? She's like, pretty much sleeps all day. Like, sleeping all the time. Sleeping. So when I see people who are aging and they are really needing naps, they're really needing naps. Like, their body is going into a new phase. And that new phase is like, hey, we need to chill out. So there is this natural place as people are aging. And it involves lots of naps. So, okay, so that's the life. That's my life today. So today is Saturday. It's 11-ish. I'm driving over to my mom's. My son is working today. He's got the 11 to 7 shift. And he just told me today that it's every Saturday. So they are starting to stabilize. I really appreciate that. And with the holiday season coming up, that means I'm going to know where he's at every Saturday. Tegan is still working at her old job. We are 1 week since the wedding. Tomorrow will be 1 week. So we are 1 week from the groom's dinner and the rehearsal. And so I am still recovering. So I had just decided that, so the guy at the storage unit, so the storage unit has been sold. And then new staff came in and they were quite bad. And then the storage unit was not sold back to the conglomerate. It was sold to somebody else. And so the people that work there were going to lose their job. And then I'm like, hey, what are you doing here? Because it was like their last day. I'm like, I'm sorry, here's my phone number, call me, whatever. And he's like, they ended up selling it back to the company after that. And I went, oh, I wish I knew that corporate story. So the people that were already reassigned, already replaced, they didn't lose any of their pay, but you get an extra paycheck if you stay with the asset until it's sold. You get a bonus check. So that change cost them, each of those people, they purposely would have stayed because you get a $2,500 bonus. They took away the bonus, which corporate should have re-given, because they should have done that. So you want to make people always be surprised to the positive of working for your company. And this guy has already worked for this company for 6 years, so he understands it all. And he has gone over just some personal things that are great. So he has really enjoyed, like he has had a weight loss journey. He's had a family. Like the last 6 years has been very good for him. He's got a stable job. He is a nice person. And anyway, so he knew what we were doing. So he rented me a unit, and I just said, like, let me give it for a little bit more time. So when we brought everything out of the wedding, I'm like, just put it in there. And I told the kids, I'm like, let's not even look at it for 1 week. Like, we need a week to breathe. We need to be able to breathe. because this was an enormous event. And I am just so happy. Now, we have some people who were like mad about the wedding, because every wedding has those people that, of course, I'm going to do something wrong. There's always something that I did wrong. But the thing that we did right is that I gave everything I had. I did not leave anything out on the, I didn't leave anything out on the table. That I literally gave everything I could to the kids in their process, right? Of their, when you look at the amount of work that I have put into those kids in the last 18 months, I have no regrets. Like, the amount of things that it took to get here is crazy. It is not just about money, it's about kind of time, like how much time does it take to get your stuff done. And we had we had a proposal party for the bridesmaids. That was a weekend event with a Bridgerton theme, complete with clothes, try on, and whatever. So we had all of that. Then we had the grooms and the brides away thing, right? The bridal party. Then we had, I was going to do the bachelorette party, but I didn't need to. Tegan took care of all of that. And her family stepped up for the bridal shower. So that was great. So then we were going to do a big groom's dinner, but we decided, we have rehearsal that night. So we just ordered one of his favorite foods, which was Holy Land. Brought that in at the hotel. The hotel comped us the room to just like the meeting room, which was like no big deal. No one was in there. It's next to the pool. It was great. So that everybody could just like hang out and see each other and laugh, and just like the kids could run around, and it was just casual and lovely. Then we had a giant wedding, and now I'm going to have one last thing, which I'm really glad I did, because Tegan didn't realize like how much this has encompassed her life. So she like instantly went into grief mode of like, oh, it's dead now. I'm like, no, it's not. I said, let's have a brunch. And because a lot of times you would have had like a gift opening the next day where everybody can watch you open all your wedding gifts. We didn't have, most people don't do actual gifts anymore. So they really just do a card or whatever. So, or the gifts get sent to your house. And so, and that reminds me, I have 2 cards I got to find. There are 2 wedding cards I haven't given. So I'll bring those. But so we're going to do a brunch as soon as the photos are ready. And luckily the photographer is somebody I know. So I might get to talk her into letting me have a brunch at her studio. We'll see. We'll see what she thinks. But it would be one more way to just enjoy the day. And Janine is very generous with her space. And she just wants more people to know where her business is. So that's totally fine. Okay, well, I am here at the delivery site. Yes, we're going to get a little basket into Karen K, and that is our story. So that is the life of me today. And yeah, that's it. That's our life. So I'll see you later.